Dianne and I have known each other a very long time. We met through Johannesburg Junior Council when she was at Greenpeace and she facilitated training for our junior councillors. Dianne and I, together with Renee Bienica, Dr. Renee Bienica, now from UJ, we organised the first NGO think tank, which was terribly exciting. It went on to be adopted by Lead SA and became the Lead SA Changemakers event. And Dianne was at Prime Media. She was the Lead SA coordinator for many years. And she is the partnership manager for Save the Children. So please give it up for Dianne.
Right, thank you everybody. Thank you, Corinne, for the lovely introduction. So I'm here today to convince you to sign up for the session that I'll be running on the 24th of October, which is creating effective partnerships in fundraising. It's really something that I'm quite passionate about because essentially throughout my career I've been a connector doctor. So why me? What do I have to offer? For the last 10 years I've worked for 3 quite well-known brands in South Africa. I've worked for Greenpeace Africa, Save the Children, and then of course, as Corinne mentioned, I was just the coordinator for Lead SA. I've always been responsible for facilitating relationships, connecting people to causes that they're passionate about. So from the environment to media to children, what's the connection and what do I see a partnership as? I see partnerships as the idea of if we're going to do something, let's do it together. We're going to have more of an impact, we're going to be stronger, and we're going to leave a lasting legacy. If we're going nowhere together, we're going nowhere together. So here are a few of my chosen partnerships that I've been working on throughout the last few years. NGOs, diplomatic community, one of the most untapped resources. Volunteers, something I work with now, which is corporate partners, and then of course our major donors. Oh, look at that. Okay, so the first time I learned that partnerships are really important was the NGO think tank that I ran with Karen Lindy in 2015. Something that we were consistently hearing was, if we don't get the funding, someone else is going to get the funding, or we need to go there because they can't get the funding. And it was really terrible because if we break down those silos, if we work together, we all get the funding, we all get the recognition, and at the end of the day, we answer our why for existing. Last year was one of the most stressful years of my life because 2 months into my job, I was told that I had to host a Global Goals World Cup. Initially, there was a little bit of funding, and there was also a project manager. As what happens in NGOs, the closer the event came, there was no project manager, and suddenly there was no internal funding either. But partnering, being able to partner with some of the partners that we see here, we were able to raise 2 million rand in in-kind donations, funding and sponsorships to pull off the event. And since then I've been able to develop much stronger relationships with these clients. What's the difference between a GSK and a Global Communications? Nothing. Both are important. One of the partnerships I've been quite passionate about is Global Communications. They sell two-way radios. In 2018 we got about 40,000 from them. In 2019, we've already doubled that. They've given us sponsorship for an event, career days, and so much more. What changed? My behavior towards them. I came to their events, I reported, I treated them like someone that wanted to be part of us. So that's what we're going to do in our creating effective partnerships facilitated group. Wow, this is hard. Wait for the next one. So what are we going to get out of this workshop together? We're going to look at the how, what, and why of fundraising. The why of fundraising is not because I'm paid to do so. It's not really that good paid anyway. There's a much bigger why, and it's very important. We're going to look at our fundraising approach. We're going to prospect and identify the who, and we're going to do some application work. So these are the outcomes. The outcome is not that at the end of it, I'm going to invite the CEO from FNB and he's going to say, you get 5 million, you get 5 million, you get 5 million. Although I would like to do that. We're really going to work together and we're going to start to apply what we've learned, determine some steps, identify opportunities, and understand our reason for existence. Who here is a fundraiser? So you know this. God. That's right. So there is not a moment that goes by that I don't hand over my card after introducing myself just to get the, I don't have money, but here's my card anyway. Why do NGOs have this kind of bad, it's almost like we're anxious about ourselves. We've made people anxious about ourselves as well. And I'm quite obsessed with this. I've got 2 examples. The first is the KZN Blind and Deaf Society, who had millions stolen from their bank accounts, not from outside, but from internal. It was someone that worked there as a senior executive. Next, Oxfam, UK. I think everybody knows about this horrible scandal. It turns out some of their junior staff were potentially abusing their beneficiaries. They lost, I think it was 7,000 regular donors within the first 2 days. And there's still ripple effects going through the NGOs, well, especially the humanitarian response today. So what can we deduce from those 2 examples? People matter. How are we treating our fundraisers? Do they know the why of why they're fundraising? Their why, not the NGO's existence or why. Why do they wake up in the morning and come to work? Does your staff understand your why? Are you in alignment? So here's our existential skeleton. Ask it, well, why, right? So that's something that we need to come up with, is why would a company choose to support you over somebody else? Do you have your own why for getting out of bed? Like I said before, the salary is not amazing. You have to have your own why. Then we're going to talk about the how and the what. Current situation in a lot of NGOs is that we like to do this thing called spray and pray, right? We really believe in this thing that we have to offer, right? But we just want to spread it. I mean, we basically got a checklist and we sent about 250 emails, just as you were saying, with the exact same body. So we're going to clear it up. We're going to go from a messy situation to a really cut and dry situation. We're going to understand our targets. And once we have that, we're going to put a business plan in place, right? So we're going to look at what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses. I'm sure everybody knows the SWOT analysis. And you'll find that actually you have a lot more strengths and opportunities than you really think. It's just about sitting and defining what it is you want to get out of that. So by the end of the workshop, we're going to have our why, we're going to have our staff and organization understanding the why, and our unique selling points. We'll have our 3 key messages, our 5 hot targets, and we're going to have our stewardship plan. This is probably one of the most important aspects of our work. So co-funding, constant funders, and our big wins. It's a very cheesy saying, but I absolutely love it. But I would like to end with, as fundraisers, we need to lead with heart, not with ego. So I really look forward to welcoming you on the 24th of October.